Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. One more time, one more again, y'all. Um, Another video, another series on my taking a look at. So I got another undrafted guy I'm talking about today. But first, we have a couple more weeks left. Is time is winding down for training camp, guys. So again, as we look forward into training camp, we look at these guys who's viable, who's gonna stay, who's gonna go. Again, I've been saying this, and I'm always gonna say this. I hate to be the one to have to pick these guys for this team because I look at some of these undrafted guys. These guys have potential. I've seen what they've done in college, and granted, sometimes it doesn't translate to the NFL. But when you look at some of these guys, they definitely have talent. And also, too, I want to talk about real quick the CSA show is this Sunday. Those of you that live in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, the CSA show is going to be in Chantilly at the Dulles Expo Center on Sunday. Sunday is, well, it's all weekend, but Sunday is when all the Cowboy players are going to be there. You're going to have Tony Dorsett there. You're going to have, I think Randy White's going to be there, Ed Too Tall Jones, Randall Cobb, um, Connor McGovern, our draft pick, Michael Gallup. You're gonna have a bunch of guys out there. So guys, if you're in the area, definitely come out. I'm gonna be there. Mark's gonna be there. I'm definitely gonna do some videos there, get some footage for you guys that don't live in the area. So look forward to that. So in my taking a look at series today, I'm talking about Luke Gifford. Luke Gifford, out of Nebraska. He's about 6'3", 6'4". You know how they had their heights, but I think he's really like 6'3". They always kind of try to edge them if they're like 6'3" and a half or something like that. But yeah, he's 6'3", 245 pounds. 3-year player out of Nebraska. Two-time All Big Ten recognition guy. When I look at his tape, I look at a guy that kind of similar to Leighton Vander Esch, almost like a poor man's Leighton Vander Esch, a sideline to sideline player, making plays. Definitely has a nose for the ball. He has a knack for the ball. Um, but again, there were reasons why he wasn't drafted. Now you look at these guys, and there's a lot of players that were undrafted that I believe that should have been drafted at least fifth round. And I think the Dallas Cowboys did their due diligence in getting a lot of these undrafted guys. They got these guys early. They got these guys off break. They were like, look, they were most of these guys were 30 visits before the draft, and some of these guys went to the combine, some of them didn't. But you look at some of the things. The Dallas Cowboys, I trust their scouts. Their scouts do their due diligence. We got Will McClay, head of VIP, player personnel. He does his thing. He has a knack for getting guys that people forget about or people don't realize, and bringing that talent to the Dallas Cowboys and making them play. Um, he says he's a Dallas Cowboy fan, as most players do. Um, He one fun fact about his younger brother Isaac. He's a 3-star recruit. Um, he plays safety though, and I think that Iowa State's looking at him, Kansas State is looking at him, and of course Nebraska's looking at him too. So look out for him coming down the line in the future too. But as far as Luke Gifford goes, you look at this linebacker core. We have a solid linebacker core. When you look at the linebacker core, you're like, why do we have anybody else outside of what we already have? Again, injuries happen, depth. You need guys for the practice squad. You need guys to look at. He's been very impressive. The Cowboys coaches have been pretty impressive with him um, throughout minicamp and the OTA. So we'll see what he does in training camp. Now, his way on this roster is special teams. If he can show this team that he's a great special teamer, he might actually get a spot on this roster. Who knows? As you know, our starters, Sean Lee, LVE, um, Jalen Smith. So those are your three starters right there. Remember, we lost Damian Wilson in free agency. I think he went to the Chiefs over there. I think he's over there with Anthony Hitchens and Orlando Scandrick. It's crazy because the Chiefs took a lot of our defensive guys. It's interesting, isn't it? But anyway, we also have Joe Thomas, Justin March Lillard, and Chris Covington. I think it was Justin March Little. I think he just had a birthday and just found out his wife was pregnant on his birthday. I think that was Justin March Lillard. But shout out to him on having his second child. His wife is pregnant, so shout out to him for that. But again, Chris Covington is not proven yet. So if a young guy comes in here and can play better than Chris Covington, they might be able to unseat him. You never know. But there's also spots on the practice squad. Now, the practice squad, I believe this year is going to be full of good talent. And I think that a lot of teams are probably going to poach some of our guys. But again, you want to keep these guys around for depth purposes because, again, as I always said, injuries are inevitable. You never know when the injury is going to happen on your team. And that's pretty much what it is. Um, Luke says himself that one reason they brought him to the Cowboys outside of the Cowboys calling him, he wanted to come here because he looked at the linebacker core, he saw the talent is there, and he wanted to be around some guys like this, and and him being around the facility and stuff like that, he says that it reminds him a lot of Nebraska, so it's almost like a warm feeling for him. Makes him feel a little bit comfortable being with the Dallas Cowboys because it has a lot of similarities of home. So, you know, that's big for a player too. One thing I tell people all the time that it's not always just about your talent, um, your comfort level with the team, how well you know the plays, things of that nature. Because if you're on the field and you're thinking most of the time and not reacting, you hesitate. And once you hesitate, especially the linebacker position, because I played linebacker, so I know that if you're reading too much and you're thinking too much, you're gonna miss that. You're gonna miss that tackle. You're gonna get the wrong angle, and that guy's gonna blow right past you because you're hesitating. You need to use your instincts, know where you are, and I think this guy, he's a natural player. Like I said, he has a nose for the rock. He's a sideline to sideline player, kind of like Leighton Vander Esch is. And I think this guy is definitely going to impress. He's already impressed the coaches, but let's see what he does in training camp. He comes to training camp and he does his thing. And if he gets on special teams and he does something on special teams, look out. But again, like as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm glad I ain't the one making these decisions on dropping this team to 53 players because I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of talent on the street after it's all said and done. And unfortunately, I've always one was advocating that the NFL raise the roster limit and also make more games in the season. So, but if that's the thing, if they add two more games in the season, then they're probably going to eliminate two preseason games. So they'll drop it to two preseason games instead of four. So you'll have two preseason games and a Hall of Fame game. So whoever plays in the Hall of Fame game would ultimately play three preseason games instead of two. But, you guys can add. um, yeah, but like I said, he's a natural. I'm gonna be looking out for him and some of these other young guys. I'm gonna be looking at a lot of these undrafted players to see what they do in free agency, specifically the guys that I'm talking about in this series. I'm also going to be talking about another young linebacker that we have, McDowell. I'm gonna do him in another video. I'm gonna talk about him too as well. Um, that guy, he's an interesting one too as well. Um, but again, the most dynamic and the most talked about undrafted guys on this roster right now, of course, are the wide receivers. But I'll do them last, as a grand finale before training camp. But again, I'm gonna keep bringing these, taking a look at videos to you up until training camp, or when I feel like I run out of guys, because I think that once I get to the well-known guys, you guys already know everything about them. But you guys don't know a lot about these guys, and nobody really pays attention to these guys. And I'm always one to advocate and to root for the underdog because me myself, I was always the underdog growing up. So I root for the guys that grind hard and work hard to get into a position to get noticed. So I look at that as a plus. So once again, guys, CSA shows this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I would definitely be there doing putting out some content, and I'll also be putting out more of these videos. Let me know what you think about this series that I'm doing right now. Of course, the haters out there, they're always gonna be say whatever, but for you trolls out there, I see you. I see you. I see you. But guess what? One monkey don't stop the show, because all you do is motivate me to do better. That's it. So thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys for your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get this content. It's your boy E2 Blue. Always keep it real, because that's all I know how to do. Y'all have a great Monday. Peace.